Mayor Baruski?
Here.
Member Volter? Member Burns?
Here.
Member Neary?
Here.
Member Baker? Member Haas?
Here.
Member Lynn?
Here.
City Administrator Giffen?
Here.
City Attorney Ed.
Here.
All stand for prayer and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, at this time, anyone who would like to address City Council can step up to the podium, give your name and address, and then address Council.
Good evening. My name is Karen Turk. I live at 335 6th Avenue in Dayton. My husband and I are here both. My husband is Jim Flaherty, same address, to follow the discussion about the second reading about the proposed intersection at 6th and Urban to change it to two-way. We were here at the first meeting and we indicated our concerns to all the council members by email. And since that time, we haven't found any additional information that would suggest that is a positive alternative to deal with any proposed problems, and our concern is it would certainly create more problems than what it would solve. So we're anxious to follow the council, and we appreciate the concern that you've given us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address Council at this time? All right, moving on. Approval of the minutes from the March 7th, 2017 council meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 7, 2017 meeting.
Second.
Motion by Jeff, second by Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Orders and ordinance, second reading of 2000, number 4. Urban Terrace, a two-way street between 5th and 6th.
City of Dayton, Kentucky, ordinance number 2017, number 4. An ordinance amending the city traffic schedules to make Urban Terrace a two-way street between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue. This ordinance makes Urban Terrace a two-way street between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue, amends the City of Dayton traffic schedule by removing Urban Terrace from the list of streets designated one-way in the City of Dayton traffic schedule. And that's the second reading.
Anyone like to make a motion? No one makes a motion, it dies first, lack of a second, or lack of a motion. Next on the agenda is ordinance 2017-5, tattoo and body piercing in the Central Business District. Donna?
City of Dayton, Kentucky, ordinance number 2017, number 5. An ordinance amending chapter 154 of the Dayton Code of Ordinances, commonly referred to as the City of Dayton zoning ordinance, by amending the text to allow for tattoo and body piercing establishment in the Central Business District and regulating such establishments. This ordinance amends chapter 154 of the City of Dayton Code of Ordinance, zoning ordinance, by allowing for tattoo and body piercing establishments in the Central Business District. This ordinance further regulates tattoo and body piercing establishments by requiring a permit from the Health Department in compliance with all Kentucky administrative regulations, to include regulations that govern construction, operation, and sanitary practice of tattoo and body piercing establishment. Second reading.
Need a motion?
Make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2017-5.
Motion by Bill.
Second.
Second by Denny. Roll call vote.
Member Burns?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Haas?
Aye.
Member Lynn?
Aye.
The ayes have it, so ordered. Next on the agenda is second reading of 2017, number 6. Updated numbers for the Code of Ordinances.
City of Dayton, Kentucky, ordinance number 2017, number 6. An ordinance amending chapter 154 of the Dayton Code of Ordinances, commonly referred to as the City of Dayton zoning ordinance, by updating the chapter and numbering system that will be easier to use and more compatible with online use. Second reading.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt 2017-6.
Motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Bill. Roll call.
Question?
Question? Go ahead.
Mr. Edge, you have said that the only changes to our zoning ordinances are in the numbering system, correct?
Correct.
There is no change to the verbiage or no additions or any deletions,
No, and no additions or deletions, just changes to the numbers.
just changes to the numbering system for the chapters and
Yes.
verses, et cetera. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear for the record.
Anyone else? Roll call vote.
Member Burns?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Haas?
Aye.
Member Lynn?
Aye.
So ordered. Next on the agenda is the city administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one item for the city council tonight. As you all know, we hired KZF to do the design for Riverfront Commons. Council made a motion previously to contract with them for the design. They then had to present their budget, which has been approved by the state. And what I'm asking for tonight is, since we didn't initially budget for this in the general fund budget, and the grants that we have are on a reimbursement basis, I'm anticipating that bill coming in sometime between now and the end of the fiscal year. I have a meeting with them on Thursday to go over some first draft of their design, but I wanted to just go ahead and get those funds approved. We have $200,000 budgeted for the capital outlay under economic development, but for transparency reasons, I wanted to ask for a motion tonight. The cost of their design work is $90,167. As I mentioned, the CMAQ grant is reimbursable, so once we pay that amount, I will submit that receipt to the state, and in weeks or maybe a few months, I don't know what the turnaround's going to be, we'll receive 100% of that money back, and we'll put it back into economic development. As I go to work towards the new budget for fiscal year 2018, we'll break down the grant funds and some of the matching that's going to be coming due for the construction of the project, so that'll be highlighted in the budget a little bit more clear. But I'm just asking for a motion tonight to allocate $90,167 out of economic development and capital outlay to pay this invoice, approval to pay this invoice when it becomes due. Again, like I said, it'll be 100% reimbursable.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Denny,
I'll second.
second by Jeff. Roll call.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Haas?
Aye.
Member Lynn?
Aye.
Member Burns?
Aye.
So ordered.
Question on this. With KZF, you had said months ago that there was going to be a pre-planning stakeholder session with KZF to go over the design aspect. When are we going to get involved with the initial part of the design?
So we had a stakeholder meeting in February, I think the first week of February, where we invited a few members of the public that had participated in the previous charrettes with KZF as they went to do some of the master plan. We invited 2 council members to that meeting. One of them showed up. And then, of course, the main stakeholders for the meeting are the people that have to be directly involved with KZF, working with them as they design it, meaning the developers, public service entities, SD1, Duke Energy, and things of that nature. So we held that the first week of February.
Not all councilors involved.
No, I couldn't invite all council.
You invite all council, you had everybody.
I'd just like to see some more public input before we get too far along in the design.
Well,
I think before we get committed to a specific part of the design, it's, we're spending $90,000, I know we're getting reimbursed. I'd like to see a little bit more public input beforehand, or at least sharing of what's going on.
I mean, the room was packed with people. It was held down here, this room was packed with people that were in that meeting.
For which one?
for the stakeholders meeting.
Stakeholders meeting.
I think they were a little unhappy that I invited so many people, but it was meant to be for people that are directly involved with the design, the people that actually have to work on the design with KZF. I wanted to include a few members of the public. The people that I chose have been either involved with me when they worked for the city, or they've been people that were highly vocal during some of the charrettes. And obviously, I wanted a few council members there, so I reached out to two whose schedules I felt could meet a late, or I guess it was a late morning, early afternoon meeting. One of the two showed up, so I was trying to cover all my bases. I know I hurt some people's feelings, but I can only invite so many people, so I understand.
Understood. Thank you.
Anyone else got a comment? You finished?
That's all I have.
City Attorney's report?
Just to report that the city just finished successfully defending lawsuit and received a favorable verdict in 15 CI 934 versus a former employee.
Any other,
Nothing else.
nothing else? Okay. Department head, Bob?
Sure. Bob Yoder, Main Street Manager. I want to thank everybody who made it out yesterday for the ribbon cutting at Hometown Heroes. Very nice event. I think they had a very busy day, so that was really good. We got a restaurant open. Other news, we had a Main Street meeting on the 28th where we had the public meeting on the Sergeant Park Trails grant. Everything was very positive about that. All concurrences were for the program. And on the 31st, we sent it off down to Frankfurt. Now it's a wait of 9 to 6 months to hear back whether it's a yes or no. So it's rush, pause. We know how that works. So that's where we're at that now. I'm going to announce, because their lease has started, the old pizza parlor is going to be probably by the end of the month or early next May. Trotta Steak and Seafood, they're in there right now remodeling and getting the kitchen set up. They're waiting on their liquor license, which is probably 3 to 4 weeks out. So should be there by the end of the month. So I talked to Greg today, and he said, yeah, we can talk. But beyond that, they're not really talking about anything else. They're too busy getting everything ready to open up, hopefully by either the end of April or early in May. So any questions? All right. Well, thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
Donna?
Everybody has a copy of the financials, so if you review those and you have any questions for me, just let me know. And the supplement to the ordinance book, I received the rest of that today. So if you want to bring your ordinance book down, I'll make all the changes for you. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Rich?
Well, much better than this time last year. This time last year, we didn't have an ordinance to enforce, and this year, everything's all in line. Our code enforcement board is in place, and everything that has been issued a notice of violation has either been abated, or if it's time for compliance has come to pass, they've been cited. We're within a couple days of that, where if your time for compliance has come to be past due, you get a citation, which is what we were searching, that's what we were hoping for last year, and now this year we're there. Grass and paint, as of Saturday, is back on. We weren't citing anyone for grass or paint through the winter, and so right now we've got, as your report indicates, we've got about 100. I imagine by this time next month we'll have well over 200. That's all I've got.
Rich, I just want to make one comment to you. As I read your report, it just jumped out at me. One of the rental units in the city of Dayton, Kentucky is owned by somebody from San Diego, California. It's unreal.
I threw that in there just for you, sir. Good. I actually threw that, the owner's city, I threw that column in there just for you.
Isn't that the Family Dollar property?
Actually, I'm not sure if that is, but actually if it is the Family Dollar property, that they've come from sending letters to corporate and getting no response to, we immediately talked, thanks to Chief Halfhill, made contact with the store manager, and now I just walk in the door, she takes care of any problems. I don't even have to send them a letter, so we've come a long way.
Thank you.
I did notice on your report there are 8 different abandoned house citations. Do they now fall under this new vacant house, vacant property ordinance? Do they have to file it as a vacant home?
I'm not familiar with how we're gonna get those property owners to file. All I can do is cite them if they don't.
Well, there would be a citation if they don't file also under that ordinance that we passed last month.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Next, Chief Audrey.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. If there's any questions on my report, submitted, hope everybody had a chance to read it. I just go over a couple things for the audience tonight too. Just some things happening in the fire department. This month, the firefighters will start their annual physicals at St. Elizabeth and Edgewood, something we do every year. So all this month they'll be going out and getting their physicals done. On April 29th, it's a Saturday from 8 to 4, teaming up with American Red Cross. We're going to do a blitz in certain areas of the town. This is an area that Red Cross picked out from 6th Street down about 2nd, 3rd Street to St. Bernard this year. So we will be out. They will bring volunteers with them, and we will meet. They're in Cincinnati. They're hitting a lot of neighborhoods: Bellevue, Dayton, Covington, Oakley, Norwood, Bond Hill, Paddock Hills, and St. Bernard. So it's going to be an all-day thing, and they're having a group of people, and then we'll go door to door. And then they'll leave a flyer for people who are not home, and they can come back and they install and do everything. So these are really hard to get a hold of. That was our contact, and they fell into, I think, into some money problems to where they were unable to get these smoke detectors, and now they've got their hands on some, so we're taking advantage of it. Reached out, and it's going to be nice enough to come over and help us out. So we've got that going on April 29th. As it gets a little bit closer, I'll put something on our webpage as far as pretty much what that time. I know they're meeting in the morning over in Cincinnati for breakfast, and then they're probably getting other people together and heading over. So the other thing I just wanted to share with everybody, as you can tell, if you follow the fire department at all, our medics have been witnessing a spike in overdoses compared to last year. I did put some numbers in on my report. We're up to 54 as of today this year. This time last year we were at 22. So it's really taken, our budget's kind of taken a hit. We are borrowing from Covington, Narcan, we're borrowing from Newport. We're buying 20 at a time at a price of $39.60 a vial. And with the stuff they're mixing this with, we're using anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 vials on one overdose to try to get them back. And we're getting them back as long as they call quick enough, but we're averaging so many overdoses. Like I said, we're at 54 now. This time last year we were at 22. So out of my budget this year already, we've spent over, as of today, we had to order more, over $5,000 just in Narcan alone. So within my budget I submitted to the city, that was one thing that we did add $10,000 more to on that line item just to cover for next year, so we're not in the red on that. I'm hoping those start to go down, but I don't see it happening. So we went through 110 vials, so I just want to share that with you. The other thing is the truck. We're supposed to have our new ladder truck last month. The committee went to Rosenbauer, North Dakota last week. Due to our hills, when they brought the truck over, just a quick history on it, the axle could not support the weight of the truck, the water, the tools, and the hills. So we brought it back, the brakes were smoking, and the guy says, hold on, let me call over Cincinnati, because Cincinnati's buying the same type of apparatus that we're purchasing. And one of the trucks that responds down Mount Adams, they had to have a special axle put on there to help support the weight and help support the brake system. So they were able, when it came to the factory, they had the wrong axle. So that was a 45-day, held us up for 45 days. So they were able to put this bigger axle on there. And with that, they threw in a air ride system, which was like a custom thing we didn't order. It cost a lot of money, but they threw that in also. So we're glad to have that. So they got back, truck looks great. It's leaving in 14 days. It's going to Dayton, Ohio for the graphics, and then they'll call them graphics for them. We'll go pick it up and bring it in. They will send 3 representatives down from Rosenbauer for 3 days, stay here and train our guys on the truck. And then we're going to keep it out of service for an extra month because it's a lot of electronics. It's not like our old apparatus. It's hands-on. It's more just pushing buttons. We're going to spend an extra month training on it and then get everybody certified. We're coming up with a program to where we go out and drive it we have to pass some type of a test to be certified to drive it. So we're working on that right now. So we're looking for the end of the month for that to happen. So everybody, if you see the truck, the new truck out and about, stop in, we'll show you. It's your truck. We appreciate it, appreciate the support of the council. Our next fire board meeting will be this month at the fire station on the 19th, and all of our meetings start at 6 p.m. And that's all I had in my report, other than you can see in my report our March trainings and inspections. The guys have been really busy out inspecting, and our burn permits.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
I got one. I want
Yes.
to make a comment to you. I know you're sometimes shy about promoting yourself. I noticed on the Facebook, you'll be participating in a fundraiser. Was that muscular dystrophy or something?
Yes, most of this is myself, Fort Mitchell's chief, Florence's chief, Taylor Mill.
I just want to
Might
comment.
be a couple more, but it's going to be at the new brewery in Newport on York
You
Street.
get involved not only in the Dayton Bellevue, but overall, so I compliment you on that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Next, Chief Adel.
Y'all have my reports for the month of March. I just want to thank Rich, when he was up here helping me with the nuisance properties. As you see with the fire department, the list of addresses, you see a bunch of repeat addresses. And, you know, teaming up with Rich has been pretty instrumental of combating these issues. So we've been pretty fortunate, I think for the month of March, for 3 properties that we've had problems with, have been dealt with and have been evicted. So we've got each and every one out. I know we don't like putting people out on the street, but, you know, we gotta look out for the best interest and the safety of our citizens, and what's best for the city of Dayton. So I want to thank Rich for helping with that. And the fire department, you know, we're working together with them to try to combat the issue too. So we haven't had a spike. This month has been bad. February we saw it coming, not only here but all over the region, all over the United States. It's been really bad. So we don't know what the cause is for the spike, but so we're trying the best we can. That's all.
Thank you, Dave. Don, any correspondence? Any petition, council? Any petition? Any unfinished business?
Question for the mayor and city administrator. Where are we on the neighborhood business district?
Well, I think you're just meaning the change to some looking at the zoning.
Yes.
Yeah. Planning and zoning is meeting in May. Let's see, let me check my calendar.
We've got some investors looking at properties outside the central business district, and
I can't, is it tomorrow or May? I don't have it on my phone. I think they're meeting in May.
The meeting in May, several of the zoning board people are because of spring break.
So first Wednesday of May.
okay. And when do you see this being coming back before
At
us?
this point, I would anticipate, if they're meeting in May, that, I'm optimistic, but I think the first reading would come for the first council meeting in June.
Yes.
First reading June, second reading July.
Yes, yep.
Okay, good. The other thing I wanted an update on was, months ago, administration gave us the recommendation to swap land with the Walnut Street Park and put the playground down on Vine Street instead. There's nothing on Vine Street. It's springtime. Where are we on that playground?
We're expected to close on the other property tomorrow or Thursday. The developer's coming in tomorrow. So we're expecting to close on that. If that happens, then we should be out there as early next week, getting stuff ready.
So that's a pretty timely question then.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't aware that there was any progress on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we've got all the documents ready. You just don't told he's coming to town.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
Michael, where are we at with the design for the sidewalks on Dayton Pike and bump outs on Sixth Avenue?
That's been delayed a little bit, obviously, as you all know. We've hired the firm, GRW and Lexington, to do it. The bid came in, their costs came in higher than expected. So we've had to, one, get that approved by the state, but two, since it came in higher, we had to move some funds around. We had to get that approved at the state level. And they've been a little bit slow getting all that information and then approved back to us. So GRW is still hired to do it. It's just been delayed because the cost came in higher, and they're having to move some construction money over to design. And we've got to start planning how are we going to supplement the money that came out of construction. So it's still a go. The start of the design has just been delayed because of costs.
Anyone else? Any more new business? Any new business? No. Okay. Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Joe. Second. Second by Jeff. All in favor? We're adjourned.
26 minutes.